just from the start of this podcast, this is literal information, and all is building up for a great event, which is the day of the Lord.
Yeah. Be still and know that I am God. So the authority of the Lord, it is revealed in the sixth seal.
People will acknowledge his judgments. There's no other option.
And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Immediately after the tribulation, what's the title of it? The coming
of the Son of Man.
Everyone who calls on the name will be saved. We are gonna overcome by the blood of the Lamb. The sixth seal, Revelation chapter 6, verses 12 through 17. If you read it, it looks like a lot of things coming out of an action movie or a Hollywood movie with all these elements and all these things that we can get to the point of thinking this is just a metaphor. This is just an example of something that it can happen in some way close to that. But just from the start of this podcast, this is literal information, and all is building up for a great event, which is the day of the Lord.
Yeah. So we're going to read it in Revelation 6, verses 12 to 17. And we want to read all of it so that you can have understanding of what we're going to be talking about. But we're going to go slow as we develop this portion. Revelation 6:12 says, when he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. The full moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth, as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale. The sky vanished like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. Then the kings of the earth and the great ones and the generals and the rich and the powerful and everyone, slave and free, hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains, calling to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of the wrath has come, and who can stand?
So some people refer to this portion as one of the most sobering and awe-inspiring moments of Bible prophecy. And that's what we're going to be reading today. And I think that's exciting because it's an important seal. And let's go through some of the main events or key events happening in this sixth seal. Yeah. And the first one is a great earthquake. This is a literal shaking of the earth. Like I said before, it's not a metaphor, it's not an example. It is a real earthquake shaking all the nations.
Yeah. So one of the things that we need to understand is that we need to take it literal, like you said in the beginning. So if it says a great earthquake,
it is a great earthquake.
It is a great earthquake. Number 2, it says that the sun is going to become black.
As
and
sackcloth.
It says that is going to become black as sackcloth. We see this in scripture many times, the word sackcloth referring ashes, mourning, but as sackcloth.
It's going to be darkened.
And this reveals a disturbance in the cosmic realm.
Number 3, it says that the moon is going to be like blood. It's going to look red.
A full moon.
A full moon is going to be like blood. Number 4 says that stars will fall from the sky. And it compares it to a fig tree dropping fruits. They're going to be just coming from heaven, all the stars.
Yeah, another important thing is the sky is going to roll up like a scroll, and that's very intense because I don't know how that can happen, but it is literally going to roll up. And this is something that if we think about it, like you said, maybe you can think about these happening in a movie, because how can this happen? How can the whole sky
is going to roll up?
Be rolled up, but yeah, it is going to happen. Number 6, the mountains and the islands are going to be moved. This speaks about a geographical chaos, and I just love these because when I was reading it, it reminded me of Psalms 46 when it says, though the mountains shake and the earth be moved. And this is already in Scripture. It's Old Testament language. So just to think about that, it's just prophetic. So we need to pay attention to that.
And number 7, there's going to be global terror.
Global terror.
It says that people's going to hide, or they're going to ask the rocks to hide them because they are acknowledging that there is divine judgment happening.
Who can stand? It says at the end. Who can stand?
That's how your version says, right? Who can stand? So there's going to be terror. People's going to be scared of what's happening.
And just to remember a little bit of who is in charge of all these, or who is...
All the time, every single seal.
Yeah, remember that we're talking about the seal. And if you go back to chapter 5, God the Father gives us a scroll to Jesus, and he is the only one worthy to open or execute all these seals or all these judgments on earth. So just for you to keep that in mind, because it is important.
Now, from these 7 events, the main 7 events that are all combined into this 6th seal, there's important things that we need to highlight. And the first one, we already said it many times, it is literal. There are literal signs. There are not metaphors, there are not examples, there are literal things happening on the earth.
Yeah, because you can read, for example, in Revelation chapter 1, where it says, his eyes are like flames of fire. But here it doesn't say like
an earthquake.
Like an earthquake. No, it says an earthquake. So we need to take it literal as it is written. It's not poetic language. This is real. How it's going to happen. That's how it's going to occur.
How does your version says about the moon?
My version says the full moon became like blood.
So that's another example.
This one is
it's not like the moon is going to be dripping blood.
Yeah.
It's going to look like blood. That means that it's going to look red because blood is
like
color red. But when it says that there's going to be an earthquake, it is an actual earthquake. When it says that people's going to fear, there's going to be terror, it's actual terror because they're going to be scared of the judgments of God.
And it says that the stars of the sky are going to fall on the earth. It doesn't say it's going to look like they're falling.
They're actually falling
on the earth as the fig tree. So that's the example. That's like the comparison.
Now, this 6th seal, in comparison to the other 5 that we already studied, there's difference in the sense that the other 5 we have at some level or at some degree we have experienced them or seen them. We're more familiarized with them. For example, wars.
Martyrdom.
We've heard of wars. We just went through a huge war in the Middle East right now. Famine, martyrdom. All these things are more familiar to us. We've seen people. We know of people. We've seen it in our own countries, and they are more familiar to us. But this one, like the sky rolling up, stars like falling, people trying to hide. We've never seen things like this. And it's because this seal, it's leading to a great event. And the last thing that we need to highlight from this events is that, which I think is the most important, is a universal recognition of who Christ is.
And that happens in verse...
At the end of it.
17, where it says, 16, it says, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?
So, because we have 2 options. When we start seeing all these cosmic events and things happening on the earth, many people could put excuse or say, oh, it is Mother Earth. Like, all this New Age language.
Theories.
And it's Mother Earth, global warming. And we can start thinking it is all related to the earth, and it's something happening because of what man has done. And that's not going to be this case. It says it, what you just read, it's clear that people will acknowledge that it is the wrath of God on the earth. Yeah. People will acknowledge his judgments. There's no other option. People is going to say, this is God from every nation. Whether they believe on him, whether they're atheists or they are this or that and they don't believe in God, or they do believe in God, everyone's going to come to a conclusion. this is God,
Yeah,
and
it
He's
says-
coming.
Yeah, and verse 15 says, then everyone, and it talks about the kings, the rulers, the generals, every slave, every person, they're going to hide, and then they're going to cry out to the mountains, and then they're going to say, who is able to survive? It says another version here.
Wow.
And so they're gonna see this is God. They're gonna acknowledge what many people have never wanted to recognize. Maybe they're gonna say,
Finally.
okay,
'Cause
this is God. This can't be just, this has to be God. you know?
Now, all this language that we read in this portion, for anyone who knows the Old Testament, it resonates super fast. It's immediately. If you have Old Testament knowledge, if you have read the prophecies in the book of Isaiah, Obadiah, all these minor and major prophets, they immediately connect you to those prophecies, this language, because it is the same language that's being spoken in here. So we're going to go to the Old Testament and we're going to read some of the verses that use the same language that John is using in this portion. Because that is gonna help to connect this language with things that were prophesied in the Old Testament, and when that same language is spoken, we are gonna be able to see that it is referring to a great day, the great day of wrath, the day of the Lord.
Yeah, so let's read Isaiah 13, and it says in verse 9 through 12.
We'll just read parts of
We're
it.
just going to read a part of it, but it says, behold, the day of the Lord comes. The sun will be dark at its rising.
So let's pause. What's happening? What's the event?
This is
the
the
day of the Lord.
This is judgment on Babylon.
In the context of the day of the Lord, what's going to happen according to the verse?
There's going to be a darkening of the moon, and it says, it says there's going to be a darkening of the sun, and the moon will not shed its light. So we're seeing here the same signs, the same description, a parallel to this seal.
So it's judgment, it's punishment, joined with this kind of language of cosmical changes.
Yeah, and then punishment of the wicked. Because if you read Isaiah 13, this is judgment over wickedness.
Yes.
Isaiah 34 also.
The heavens above, this is the New Living Translation, the heavens above will melt away and disappear like a roll-up scroll.
Wow.
The stars will fall from the sky like withered leaves from a grapevine or shriveled figs from a fig tree.
Wow, so this is, again, a repetition of the same language.
And if you read the whole chapter of Isaiah 34, the title of Isaiah 34 is Judgment on the Nations. Again, judgment, all these things happening in the heavens, people is scared, there is punishment. And this mirrors Revelation 6:14, the one we're reading right now.
Yeah. Obadiah 1:15 says, the day of the Lord is near upon all nations.
And if you go and read the title of this section in Obadiah is, the day of the Lord is near.
Wow. Then we also have Ezekiel 30, which echoes Isaiah 13's language of judgments and darkness. So we need all these chapters. We want you to go and take some time to read it, and just compare it to the parallel of this seal, because it is important to let the Bible explain to you all the verses, other verses. Amos 5:18 also says, "Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord. It is darkness and not light." Wow. This is talking about judgment and a day of intensity. It's the day of the Lord. And so it talks about tension, it talks about all the things. And I think we didn't include in the notes, but also if you read, like I mentioned before, Psalms 46, verse 2 says, "Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling." So the same thing, talking about all these disasters, the mountains, the people saying, "Please, mountain, hide us, please." Though all these earthly things happened, we need to remember that the Lord is sovereign and he has the authority to cast this judgment. So it's not like, some people might think, what is God going to do in this, or what is it going to happen? He is the one opening this seal.
And it's going to be a really hard day. It's going to be darkness, and there's not going to be light. Now, if we put this in a timeline that we've been doing it through the other episodes, it has to happen after the tribulation. It goes after the tribulation. And all of this is leading to the great day of the Lord. All these signs, all these seals are leading to this event that we're going to be waiting for. And it's the day of the Lord. Now, what's going to cause on the earth? What's going to be happening in our hearts as we get to that day, as we enter into that phase of these seals of judgments being cast on the earth? First of all, there's going to be judgment. We already read a lot of verses in the Old Testament and the book of Revelation. There's going to be judgment, which at the same time will bring purification. He's going to bring judgment to remove evil. He judges and he purifies. At the same time, if maybe you can read Joel chapter 2, verse 28 to 32, which is a connection to the book of Acts chapter 2, verse 15, when it's talking about that in the end, when this day is getting closer, there's going to be a revival. There's going to be an outpouring of the Holy Spirit, but at the same time, there's going to be a great falling away.
And it says, Joel 2:28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Let's go back a little bit because it says afterward. And if you read Joel 2, verse 1, or the title, it says the day of the Lord. So there's
Super
this
clear.
judgment, and there's repentance, and then mercy from the Lord. And then it says again, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Even on the male and female servants in those days, I will pour out my spirit. Verse 30, and I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and columns of smoke. The sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood. So this is another prophetic part where we can see the same language. Before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. It says, before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes.
That's going to happen.
And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
So that's everyone who calls on the name will be saved. We are going to overcome by the blood of the Lamb. We're not going to escape the suffering part of it. We need to be very clear about that. We're not escaping. We're not just disappearing and escaping all of this.
And that's why it's important to know what's going to happen.
We need to know that there's going to be a universal suffering.
Yeah.
He's coming to judge and purify the earth, but because of the blood of the Lamb, we will overcome. And like you were reading here, because of grace, when we cry out to Him. Yeah. So now let's finish just reading a portion where Jesus was referring to this specific moment. And we find it in Matthew chapter 24, verses 29 to 31.
And it says, the coming of the Son of Man.
That's the title.
Immediately, that's the title of this portion. Immediately after the tribulation.
Pause. That's it. Let's put this in the very first part of the podcast. Immediately after the tribulation. What's the title of it? The coming
of the Son of Man. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
You can
put it on your timeline, and you can say immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. This is letters in red. This is Jesus speaking. And the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then will appear in heaven the sign of the Son of Man. And then all the tribes of the earth, it says all the tribes of the earth, will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
That's Revelation chapter 6, the end of it. The sixth
He
seal.
will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the
So
other.
there's elect on the earth. They haven't disappeared.
No.
That's why we put the seal right after the tribulation, because of what Jesus said.
Wow.
So why is this seal so important? I think it is a wake-up call. It's a wake-up moment. It clarifies the timeline that we have been building, helps us to understand how the prophecies are being and will be fulfilled, and we can see God's authority over his plan over the nations as he comes and judges and purifies.
Yeah. It also gives us understanding that the end time judgments come from the Lord. Like they are divine, that he has the authority, like you said, to execute them. And this is going to cause a returning of the fear of the Lord.
Wow.
Because we're going to see that he is sovereign, that he is almighty,
He's the king.
that he is the king, that he is Melech over all the earth.
Yes.
And this is going to open the eyes of many people in this time to recognize that he is God, to submit to his authority. So what mercy, how much mercy is God giving in this time? And so, yeah, just read these slowly. Let the Lord continue to reveal. Just go back to the Old Testament, read all the same language in both. And I just want to end by reading what we mentioned before, Psalms 46, verse 2. It says, therefore we will not fear. So as you study this and
Do not fear.
prophecy, it says, therefore we will not fear. How is our heart going to respond? It says, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. So
It's Revelation. It's the sixth seal.
This is the sixth seal. All these
Events.
natural events, the mountains moving into the sea.
So according to that psalm, in the middle of the events and the tribulation, we're supposed to go to refuge.
Yeah, we're like it says in verse 1, God is our refuge and strength.
Do not be afraid.
Very present help in trouble.
Wow.
And therefore we will not fear. And then it continues to say, verse 6, the nations rage, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. And then verse 8, come behold the works of the Lord, how he has brought desolations on the earth. He makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. So the authority of the Lord, it is revealed in the sixth seal.
Wow.
And here there is an instruction, be still. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Wow. In the midst of chaos. So please read Psalms 46 and attach it to your study of the sixth seal, because it gives you the key of how to respond in this time.